Welcome back. The private data of nearly 145 million Americans may be exposed after a hack at one of the country's three main credit reporting agencies.
Today, lawmakers giving the former chairman and CEO of Equifax a public scolding in the first of 4 hearings on Capitol Hill this week. Weijia Jiang has a look at today's testimony.
Richard Smith, the former head of Equifax, sat before lawmakers and tried to explain how the personal information of more than 145 million Americans was compromised.
We know now that this criminal attack was made possible because of a combination of human error and technological error.
The Department of Homeland Security notified Equifax in March about vulnerable software, and the company failed to protect consumers.
How does this happen when so much is at stake? I don't think we can pass a law that, excuse me for saying this, but fixes stupid.
Lawmakers expressed outrage not only over the breach, but over how the Consumer Credit Reporting Agency responded.
A slow rollout and how poor it was done, to me, is just inexcusable.
Equifax tweets directed people to the wrong website to see if they were part of the breach, and its free credit freezing service included an arbitration clause.
I think within 24 hours, we removed that and tried to clarify that. That was a mistake.
A constituent pointed out to me it would be wrong to call the victims of this breach Equifax customers, and he asked why he's been impacted in this manner.
I apologize. The individual wrote you that letter. I apologize to America for what happened. And we're going to try to make it right.
Smith told lawmakers data security is a national security problem that will require Congress and private companies to work together on a solution. Weijia Jiang, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Thank you for answering. Dr. Chris Bollinger joins us now to break down the news. He is a professor and director of the Center of Business and Economic Research at UK's Gatton College of Business and Economics. Thank you for being with us tonight.
Glad to be here, Sam.
Appreciate you jumping in on this. How hard will it be for this credit firm, Equifax, to rebound for this? I mean, this is a tough lick.
Well, in all honesty, from what economists look at, we look at stock prices, and they pretty much already have. They lost about 6% stock value around September 14th when the announcement came out that their breach had occurred. But most of that's been completely recovered. They're up within about a percentage of their point there, and they look like they'll continue to go. I mean, the question, stock market values sort of the future value of the company, and the question is, does this really hurt them in any long-term way? And the answer is not really very much.
Okay.
So Sam said 145 million people projected to be affected by this. What kind of action can Congress take that affects Equifax?
Well, at this point, Equifax, any law that Congress would pass that would say that Equifax should do something can't be applied to an act that's already occurred. I think in the future, there may be laws that Congress or states can put into effect that may protect consumers more when these kinds of things happen, require firms like Equifax to perhaps notify us faster. That's one of the complaints that people have, that require firms like Equifax to maybe put in protections when our data have been breached. But those are all going to be in the future, and those would affect all the firms in that industry. They can't just pick out Equifax. And so in a lot of ways, there's really not much Congress can do about this data breach. But we might hope that they would look at maybe some ways to incentivize the companies to be a little more careful, perhaps. Although I did kind of like the congressman's comment about it's pretty hard to legislate against stupid.
Yeah. When their business is, protecting people and their credit information. I mean, that's part of their business.
Yeah, that's part of their business, and part of their business is holding those data. I mean, they really are I don't want to defend Equifax too much, but they are in a tough position. They have a lot of data, and it's an important part of their business model that those data be available to their customers who are not sort of regular people, but businesses and firms who use the credit reports to make decisions about offering credit to individuals. They need to make that available through the web, and that means that they're vulnerable. We hope that they take precautions, but it's very hard, and we should keep in mind that the federal government's been hacked pretty recently too, and so it's hard to protect against it. It's kind of an arms race.
All right. Thanks for coming in, Dr. Bollinger.
Sure.
Appreciate it.
Glad.
Thank you very much. And you can join the conversation by leaving your comments on WKYT.com or on our Facebook page. Let us know what you think.